We're joined now by Congressman Alan Lowenthal, Democrat of California. He's on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, of course. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
It's my pleasure to be with you, Jonathan.
So I guess no surprise, given what we've heard from officials right here, that the UN concludes that there is clear and convincing evidence of the use of sarin nerve gas. But so does it really move us forward in any way, that report?
Well, I think it underscores the president's position all along, and that is that it was really Assad who was responsible for the sarin gas, and undercuts the Russian position, who tried to indicate that it was really the rebel forces. I think it's real clear, as you pointed out, the implications are that only the Syrian army could have used these weapons.
So if that's the case, Congressman, is the president right to have called off his planning for a strike and to let diplomacy now work its way forward and to try to have the international community bring those chemical weapons under their control?
Absolutely. The president has always said that even if we did do a military strike, which he believed was important to send a message, but that even if the solution would be a diplomatic solution. We have to remember that the president has raised this issue with the Russians and the Syrians many times before, and they've refused to acknowledge it, as has the rest of the world. I think now the rest of the world understands that the nerve gas was used by the Syrians. It is not acceptable, and that now an agreement hopefully will be done by the United Nations. I think it makes the president's position even stronger. So I think we'll see what happens.
All right, but Congressman, there are two views of this. Yours is obviously that the president, by threatening military action, has forced Syria to accept international control of its chemical weapons. Whether that actually plays out remains to be seen. The other view, and expressed, for instance, in a Wall Street Journal editorial today, is that the president was buffeted from side to side, made to look weak, made to look like a follower rather than a leader.
Yeah, I like the former view. I believe it. It's really because of the president. And this will be evaluated ultimately in terms of the effect. And that is, if negotiations now, the president's strong stance, which leads to a diplomatic solution, actually eliminates those weapons, the world will be safer and the president will be perceived as a great leader.
All right, so we had about 1,000, just over 1,000 people killed by these chemical weapons, which leaves about, by my admittedly shaky math, about 109,000 killed by other methods. So yes. Are we really saying that go on, Mr. Assad, kill, tens of thousands more, but just do it with conventional weapons, if you don't mind, sir?
Well, remember, the president said that the goal of the United States was to deter and to degrade the ability of the Syrians to use weapons. It was not to get rid of the Assad regime, as horrible as that regime is. We have seen that we can help, but the United States alone cannot intervene in another country. And the president was real clear, no boots on the ground. And I think that as horrible as Assad is, this is not about eliminating Assad.
Does President Putin of Russia, who was obviously a key figure in all of this, come out looking stronger than President Obama of the United States?
No, but what President Putin does look for is to change his role and to become one more of a peacemaker and to work with the United States. It's real evident that up until recently that the Russians have been a thorn in the United States' side, of taking the opposite side on almost all positions. I think President Putin sees an opportunity now to collaborate with the United States. Obviously, it will help elevate his status in the world, but it will also elevate, hopefully, the status of peace in the world and move forward with more cooperation and more diplomatic solutions if it works. I think it's a win-win for both the Russians and for the United States.
All right, we shall see. As you say, history will judge whether this was the right move or not. Congressman Alan Lowenthal, Democrat of California, and member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Great to get your perspective, sir. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.